All right. I think we are live here. Don't look at the duct tape. No. God damn it. I have a really bad room for this. But hello. It's me. Yay. uh I am probably the most cringy person. I don't know why. But I'm still alive. I know I said I was gonna do live streams on Saturdays, but Saturdays have been crazy lately. It's really surprising how crazy they've been. So today, I just wanted to do something like I just watched the latest episode of One Piece, and it looks like you're just about to end the arc. So I'm like, I kind of want to do a discussion video on this. Let's talk about One Piece. So, for those of you who don't know me, I can't afford manga, and I don't want to look it up online and read. So I hate reading. It's sad, but I frankly don't want to read the manga. So I'm only caught up in the anime. So if you are a manga reader, please don't spoil it. If you spoil it, I'll cry. I'll just cry. But yeah, so basically, they just finished the Big Mom arc on the anime. If you're not caught up in it, then that's probably not the video for you because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone else. Please don't spoil it for me. Like I said, I'll cry. So basically, they just finished the Big Mom arc, and I guess it's finished. It might have a little bit more to it. It doesn't look like there'll be more to it. It looks like it might be more to it. It's like one of those things that's up in the air. No one really knows, and has a potential to continue onward and or just like segue perfectly into the what is it called? I forgot what the next arc is. It's the place with all those people. Fuck, I can't remember it. It's Zao, I think. No, Zao. I have no idea. I can't think of it. But basically, we're about to go into that arc, and it might be segueing. I'm not sure if they're going to take a break. There's been no information on that from my best knowledge and all. What the fuck does that mean, Xander? The fuck does that mean? Uh, so here I'm gonna take this down. My hair. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it there. It makes me look better. I know what that is. I never watched it myself, Xander. I'm sorry, but basically, I my thoughts on the Big Mom arc is basically it wasn't my favorite arc. I think my favorite arc is definitely Dressrosa so far. It had a lot more, I guess, story to it, and it brought more, I guess, say, character growth than it Big Mom arc did. And the pure fact of it is, the Big Mom arc was kind of bad because it really showed off Luffy and the rest of them, but it didn't show off the rest of the crew, which is what Dressrosa did also because half the crew went on to. I'm pretty sure that's Zao, the moving elephant. I'm pretty sure that's Zao. So basically, they went on to that, and the land of Wano. That's what I'm thinking of. The next thing is going to be the land of Wano, but basically, it was half the crew in Dressrosa, but it was the better part of the crew in my opinion. I love Zoro, I love Sanji, but I kind of hate that they're never doing anything together, and whatever they do together, which was only in the Fishman arc, was pretty to say the least. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world to see, and it wasn't probably not going to be my favorite thing in the world. I'm pretty sure to a lot of people, the Fishman arc was a little bit of a depressing thing. Most of the videos I see on the Fishman arc, at least, I'm shaking the camera a lot. My foot hurts, and it's on my foot. So basically, it wasn't my favorite arc to the Fishman arc. It wasn't a lot of people's favorite arc from what the videos I've seen. Horty wasn't a good villain, to say the least. They tried making him as hateable as possible, and I gotta admit, they did a good job making me hate him, but fuck, it slid. Fuck. Stay. So basically, I'm such a bad YouTuber, I'm sorry. But basically, whatchamacallit? Horty was basically completely racist, and to me at least, racism in an anime especially where he was coming from, that made no sense. Kind of made it worse. Basically, if you haven't seen the Fishman arc, and I don't want to spoil it for you, the Fishman arc, Horty was basically completely and utterly racist, dependent on the fact that he hated humans from, I guess, the day he was born, or he just had a bad experience with humans because he said that nothing, humans did nothing to him. So I'm assuming that that means nothing happened, and he's just pissed at humans. I should probably let's see if I can get myself framed. Well, there. Let's see if I can keep that. I want to keep. I want to make this as good as I possibly can, and it's hard because don't have anything to stand for my thing to stand on. I don't really have a room for live streaming in real life. That's why I was considering doing it on PlayStation, but I'm like, I see other YouTubers like Teching do it. Like maybe I can do this. Let's see. Better. Okay, so basically, the idea of Horty was that he was completely and utterly racist, dependent on he just hated humans, and that was really, I guess, downgrading to me because I don't like that idea that he was dependent on the hatred of humans for basically the entire arc. And then, of course, you had his accomplice, which I can't remember the name. I'm sorry if you guys will hate me for that, but I can't remember the name of him. And he basically just wanted Sarah Hoshi to marry him, which, eh. This the Fishman arc had bad villains. It was basically, oh, you have a racist and a pedophile. it was my favorite arc, and it probably will never be my favorite arc. So that's basically where I guess the 2-year time gap starts. Is the Fishman arc. I guess that's where I'm going to first start that off. Is that you had the Fishman arc, which was a trial, basically. I'm assuming to see how people like it. Nobody liked it, so they switched it up when they went to Dressrosa, which Dressrosa again was my favorite arc, where Luffy and basically everyone had one-on-one battles, but in what you call it, the Big Mom arc, they didn't, which kind of was a sad point to me. Everyone had their own goals in the arc, but it wasn't like, oh, we had to beat this person. No, it was originally we got to go get Sanji. But if we can kill Big Mom in the process, that's how basically the Big Mom arc completely went. And it to me, it was just a mess. And it was extremely long for what it was supposed to be. Like I think in the manga it's about the same length, but and they just increase like some fight scenes in the anime. Like from what I can see, that the battle between Luffy and what's his name? I always forget his name. This is gonna haunt me. This is gonna haunt me. Fuck me. Kamakuri. That's what I'm thinking of. Katakuri. Basically, the battle between him, there was a little bit different. Like I also know that in Dressrosa, it only took one King Kong gun in the manga to break down Doflamingo, and in the anime, it was like 4 or 5 of it, and in my opinion, it was. If you're making here, I'm putting this down. My hair is fine. Just this little bump. Basically, if you are making something better, in a sense, if you're making something better in the anime for cinematic reasons, it's a good reason to make it better. They did that also in the battle with Katakuri and Luffy. But what I didn't like about it was, at least both sides in Dressrosa had good amount of damage intake. Like Doflamingo took a great amount of damage from Luffy and kept getting back up, and he used his strings to basically keep his organs from failing. And he was really creative with how he used his devil fruit. Basically, with Katakuri, though, it was very. I don't want to say it, but it was kind of one-sided 99% of the time. And Luffy was thought to be dead at one point, with Katakuri barely taking any damage. And when he found out to be alive, Katakuri came back. He was angry. He was a little bit off his tempo, so he got hit once from Luffy, and he's like, "Oh yay, I touched him!" And then it was basically a fight for who can see into the future further. which then Luffy actually didn't end up winning, from my best knowledge. Luffy didn't end up winning the Who Can See in the Future more. He started getting sight of it, but then before it completely ended, he decided that I'm going to depend more on my speed, which is where Snake Man came in. So, we're I know I completely went off topic and went from basically putting Doflamingo and Katakuri on the same level, which 100% they're not. Doflamingo is a little bit worse than Katakuri. I want to say that. Because in the whole scheme of things, Doflamingo was really creative with his Devil Fruit. He knew how to use it actually really, really well. It's a string fruit, so it's not like the god tier, but both of them knew how to awaken their Devil Fruit. At least I would assume Doflamingo did. Maybe it just happened. But I am completely goose. I think I've never kept a straight thought on this so far. I'm sorry. But basically, to say the least, I think Doflamingo is worse than Katakuri, but in terms of a battle scene, he was a lot better. Because if I had to pick watching the entire Doflamingo versus Luffy fight, or the battle of Katakuri versus Luffy fight, I would definitely pick Doflamingo. And like a lot of people, I think this was like a popular opinion. I'm not sure. I didn't really do complete research on it, but I think I would prefer to have Snake Man been the, I guess, fourth gear form that went after Doflamingo, because the pure fact of it is, it wasn't that Luffy was being overpowered by Doflamingo. It was that Luffy was was too slow to essentially do as much damage, and I actually do think Snake Man would have been much better to use against Doflamingo than Bounce Man. So it's just my opinion. I thought about this for a while, and I'm like, huh. If the main problem was that Luffy was having a hard time hitting him, and you're literally hitting a man who can see 5 seconds in the future, and Snake Man's your fastest form, wouldn't it make sense that you use Snake Man and just hit Doflamingo with less strength but more hits until he's completely knocked out, instead of, I'm gonna basically murder this man, which he didn't murder him. I'm basically gonna use Bounce Man for pure power and overpower Doflamingo instead of outspeed him, which Luffy wasn't really having a hard time with power at that point. And it was just kind of weird. I guess one of the better things I did like about Luffy versus Katakuri was that he didn't have to depend on fourth gear as much. With Doflamingo, you can really tell he was like, I need to use fourth gear. If I don't use fourth gear, I'm not going to be able to beat him. Because he went to Bounce Man, got out of Bounce Man because he ran out of time, and then went right back into Bounce Man as soon as he had the power, or his hockey back, basically. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but as soon as he got his hockey back, he basically went back into Bounce Man, and that's basically how it went. I don't know how else to explain it. And that, I notice I'm really having a hard time. I should have made like a PowerPoint or something like, oh, this is what I'm going to talk about. No, I just saw the latest episode. I wanted to talk about it, and I was hoping people would come in and like, oh, I like this and that. Nobody came in. Nobody came in. So I think how I'm going to wrap this off is just my thoughts on the Big Mom arc. It was definitely long, and it wasn't essentially good at a point. I like the idea that Pudding is just going to betray him, and they're going to kill Sanji and Germa. That was fine. Pudding fell in love with Sanji. That was fine. It wasn't like unsurprising, to say the least. It wasn't like, oh, this was not going to happen. It's like, oh, this could happen. It did happen. Cool. We all knew that Luffy wasn't going to kill Big Mom in the end, mainly because how I think this is going to go is that he needs his entire crew to do it. And it really didn't help. He didn't have a lot of his powerhouses with him, such as Zoro wasn't with him. He wanted to stay behind, and I think he said he was going to go help with Wano. I don't since we remember I'm doing most of this off memory. Please don't hate me. But basically Zoro went on and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go do this," and Usopp, which is their sniper, who is a god sniper, which I don't. I think if he goes up against Smoothie, which I think is gonna end up happening when they go back to the Big Mom's land. I forget what they call it. I'm sorry. I am done with that. I'm done trying to remember. But basically, I think that mainly whenever it comes back to it, it's going to be Smoothie versus Usopp, and Usopp has to keep his distance. That's how I feel it. How it's going to be. When I feel like it's going to come back, it's going to be Luffy versus Big Mom, Katakuri versus Zoro, and I see Zoro actually having a much easier time with Katakuri than Luffy with the. I forget what he uses. I forget what it's called. I know it's like the mochi fruit. So like Zoro is just gonna cut through all the mochi as it comes, and that's how I feel like it's just gonna go with him. Either that, or it's gonna be like a mixture of Zoro and Sanji, and it's gonna be like, oh, Sanji's gonna, because this is his food. I can use my knives like he did against Pasta Guy. I honestly don't remember his name. I didn't care really about him. I know he's like really a fan favorite because he's like, "Oh, look at me! I got pasta." Oh, you can't do that. I'm like, I'm a chef. You're using food. I can do what I want. That's why I love Sanji. Um, so yeah, my thoughts on the Big Mom arc. It started out pretty good. They went to the Big Mom's land. It was fine. They met Pudding. Pudding, for some reason, didn't I think ratted them out. I'm not sure if he ratted them out or she's like, they're not threat, and didn't. I honestly don't remember if she did that or not. Um, other things is that I like the tank form gear 4, but I don't think it's something that Luffy can do initially without eating a lot because he had to eat a lot and it's like, oh, gear 4, you can't hurt me. Hockey. Bam. And it really just going to show the, I guess, level gap between Cracker and Katakuri because Cracker's like, oh, I can create crackers unlimited, and Luffy just kept beating them, and Cracker just eventually got tired and you went for a hit and failed. And then you had a Smoothie, who Smoothie isn't really that strong because she really has to touch you to really do any damage. I think I know Oven and the other one, the one that can summon the genie. Names are not my strong suit. I'm sorry. Um, I know those two aren't admirals, but I think when we come back, Oven's going to be because Oven really contributed to it. So in the end, I think Oven's going to be one. Pero's Pero, I'm pretty sure lost an arm, so we might see it back with an arm because Pero's Pero was not my favorite character either. He got suicide bombs, close range, and the excuse they made for his survival was candy armor. I don't know why that upset me so much. It's probably because I really liked Pero, or pretty sure it's Pero. I can't remember. Names are so bad for me. I don't know why. But if you've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. It says like, oh, it's a noble act. It's supposed to take out this character. No, it didn't. Turns out he's wearing candy armor. It just something that really upset me in the end. It's like, oh, good. He did something really good at the end. And even though I love this character, it's good to see in his final moments he didn't just like sacrifice himself for I guess he did sacrifice himself. What I'm thinking of is that he didn't just like go out trying to trying his best to stall. He wanted to go in there. He wanted to take out somebody he knew who was going to be a threat, and he did it. But he didn't because candy armor. Just something I didn't like. To keep going on that, then you had the whole. So basically, we went through Cracker. Brook in this entire thing, he was okay. He really didn't do much to improve the plot. I know he got the whole what are they called? Those, you know what I'm talking about? Those fucking stones. Can't remember names for shit. Basically, I know he did that, and then he got caught by Big Mom, but he still had it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we got what we wanted," but it wasn't like God. He wasn't like Carrot who went off and took out a ton of ships. So that was a thing. Then you had Broly. I'm pretty sure it's Broly because Luffy kept calling her broccoli or something like that. But then you have Broly who can go through mirrors, which is why they kept mirrors all over, so they can just teleport here and there and all over. And they had a whole entire mirror world, which I guess makes sense. I guess. But in my eyes, I was like, oh, it's just a reason to keep everyone out of the Luffy versus Katakuri battle. It just didn't make me happy in the end because it should have been everyone witnessed Katakuri lose to Luffy. They wanted this to be a one-on-one. Katakuri demanded it to be a one-on-one. Therefore, it was a one-on-one. Instead, it's like, oh, cool. We have whatchamacallit? We have this person in here, and Broly brought these people in, which I forget her name too. Is the girl who bounced all the time? It's like, oh yes, I am the best. He. It was basically like that, and it wasn't. And she shot Luffy in the leg, and that's why Luffy took a hit, and why Katakuri was like, "Oh, why did I hit him? He should have dodged it." And he realized what happened, so he stabbed himself. Basically, I I respect Katakuri, and I love Katakuri as a character. I just hate the idea of what happened throughout the entire Big Mom arc. I know it's probably not going to be the popular opinion, and I might be saying this on the whim, but it was just not my favorite. And it, in the end, it should have been. I would have appreciated more if it was like a back and forth thing where we got to see. Oh, some episodes are this where we're watching Luffy and all of them go, and then some episodes we see like Zoro and all of them and what they're doing in Wano. Because I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. When we get to Wano, it's just going to be a big flashback in the beginning, like they did in Zao, and it's just going to be like that. It's not. It's not going to be like the best thing, but it's not going to be the worst. And I didn't mind what they did in Zao. It was actually kind of just something to happen, and in the end, it didn't decrease the plot. It actually just increased it. And I kind of just wish they didn't have to do a flashback. They just do like back and forth things. So we're not just sitting there the entire time watching Luffy and all of them and Big Mom, and it leaves us more suspense. I guess in a sense, because what's gonna happen to Luffy in this episode? Oh, we're just gonna ignore it for a week and go to Zoro. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen to Zoro and all them in Wano? So it's like two building stories that lead up to one to collide instead of, oh, this is this story. We're gonna go into this story. We're gonna have a flashback of what happened while you were gone, and then we're gonna continue onward. That is that in a sense is what I is probably gonna happen, and in my opinion, it's not the best thing. So so basically after that we have Nami who actually did more damage to Big Mom than I think Luffy did. And then you have Jinbei, I think, who did more damage to everyone. We had Jinbei joining the crew finally, officially joining the crew, which I think that was my favorite part of the Big Mom arc is when Jinbei just came out of the ocean and basically one punched Big Mom. At least I don't know how she didn't get in the ocean because I don't think the sun, I forget what his name was, would be able to stop him in a sense. But it's what happened, I guess. So to kind of wrap this up, I just want to say what I think is going to happen in Wano as an anime watcher only, because I know in the manga you're definitely really far ahead. In the manga or in the anime, I think that because everyone knows that Dressrosa was Spain and there was a battle and all that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know that because there was a battle of I think Trafalgar or something like that. So, in my personal opinion, I think Law is finally going to die. He shortened his lifespan. He's not really caring what happens. He doesn't really want to do this for power. He just wants to do it because why not? And I think Law is just going to die in the next arc. If you actually don't know why Law named his pirate crew the Harp Pirates, is because I personally don't think it's because he's a surgeon. If you don't know Law's backstory, Law was with Corazon, and Corazon in Spanish is heart. So I think that's why he named himself the Heart Pirates. He really doesn't care what happens anymore. He finished his goal. Doflamingo's in jail, um, and everything is kind of wrapped up for him in a sense. And all there's left is Kaido, so I think he's gonna die. I don't know if they're gonna be Kaido. I've seen some things like, oh, Luffy and them failed it, but I'm not gonna believe them because I feel like it's gonna be like a two-time push, and basically like, oh, we got to come back and beat them, and they're gonna beat Kaido because either Kaido's already pissed at Luffy and wants to kill him, or they're gonna let him attempt to kill Kaido. In a sense, I do feel like Trafalgar Law can do, but not in a sense that he can do easily. So with that all being said, I think I'm gonna get on out of here. I don't know what else to talk about. I was really expecting more people, like more nursing. Like, oh, there's a One Piece discussion. Let me go watch it. No, apparently no one did. So why can't I have friends? All right, so I'm gonna get on out of here. I will see you guys next time. Oh wait, one more thing. I know I said I was gonna do live streams Saturdays and upload Sundays, but this will be the one episode for this week, and I know it should continue on normally because I didn't know I had finals week or last week. It just kind of came up out of nowhere, like or not in finals, midterms. It's came out of nowhere. No one, I wasn't really expecting it, so I was busy studying for that. So sorry. And with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys next time. And